Hey, Mike, what do Kelly Slater and PT have in common?
I don't know. They're both world champs?
Nope, they both own Endless Summer box set.
Oh my God, rad. You guys, you can get it too. The link's in the show notes. Hey, this is Mike with the Quivercasts, brought to you by quiverbuilder.com, an online community where you buy, sell, and surf for your next magic board. Good afternoon and evening, folks. We're at Buccaneer Beach in Oceanside, California, sitting with Coral. Coral, what's your full name?
Coral Ray McDuffie.
Do you want that out there? That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all good.
Okay. So, Coral, I've known you for a long time. You're the youngest interviewee and the first female interviewee.
Wow, I am so honored. So honored.
So you're beating two spots.
Dang.
You got it down. When did you start surfing, Coral?
I honestly can't really remember. My dad surfed his whole life, so it was just something I was kind of raised doing. My mom ran that surf ride surf camp at North Jetty, and so from the time I was about 10 to 15, I was down there every day, whether I wanted to be or not, just helping her and actually John Daniels, like with the camp and surfing and just having a blast.
And so you don't even remember your first wave?
No way.
No.
Definitely not, no.
Okay. And when you were growing up surfing, did you like the beach lifestyle? Because it was in the family. So you have a surfing family.
Yeah, I hated it.
Did you?
I absolutely hated it at first. Ugh, I hated waking up every morning and piling in the truck and going to the beach and being stuck there till 1 o'clock. I just wanted to stay home like the rest of my friends and watch TV. I was so bummed, but my parents wanted me to be out in nature and stuff. So eventually I kind of turned it around and just made it decided to make the best out of the situation, and I started surfing, and as I got better, I enjoyed it more. But at first, I didn't want anything to do with it, and I was super jealous by all my other friends who got to stay home.
Now, the other friends you're talking about, any of them surf now?
No.
No? So,
just people I went to school with and stuff.
So because your parents made you go to surf camp, you surfed, and now it's part of your life, right?
Yeah, all of my best friends, some of them I actually met at that camp, surf,
Okay.
and then John, who ran the surf camp, started a little coaching team, and Braden was actually in that, and that's when things got really fun because we were all super competitive and we pushed each other, and those are probably when I made some of my best surfing friendships, and I still have them all today, which is really cool.
And name some people that were in the camp with you. Do you remember?
Yes. So McKenna Foster.
Okay.
Tex Mitchell.
Okay.
McKenna's cousins, Keela and Kai, who don't surf too much anymore. I see them every once in a while. And I know I am forgetting a ton of people right now.
Now, what about,
they're going to roast me for it.
Probably. If you remember their names later, go ahead and say
Yeah,
it. What about
sure.
in John Daniels, his coaching with Braden?
Yeah, so his coaching, it was
And it was totally different, right? Two different entities.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the kids from the camp transitioned eventually to John's coaching because you kind of learn to stand up and the basics and stuff at the camp, and then eventually John took you in and kind of showed you how to get better and actually improve yourself so you're ready to compete and stuff.
Okay.
But so my coaching group was Braden, Kayla Casino, Olivia Pisana.
Oh yeah, Olivia.
And I think Tex was still in the group.
Yeah.
And Brandon Pugsley. And then Lucas started doing it a little bit later. And I know some kids flowed in and out, but those were the core.
I remember one day, it was huge. It was big north side, no one was out. And I didn't really want John to send you guys out. I was kind of do you remember that day?
I remember that
you guys
day.
There's a picture of you guys with a fishing pole.
Yeah.
You and Braden and maybe Brandon or somebody.
Yeah.
I'll post that picture. You had that picture, right, Daniel?
I know I do.
Oh, you have that picture
Yeah,
too?
I remember that day. We paddled out, and John was like, all right, kids, you're going to learn how to surf big waves today. And he's like,
It was big.
you can't drop in before this piling. You have to drop in after the piling. So we couldn't wimp out and paddle to the inside and catch the smaller waves. We had to drop in on a set. That was like part of the goal for the day. Or else, we were running to South Jetty and back like 5 times.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to do that. So we all just dropped in. I'm pretty sure I just kept going straight, and I was
Were
in
you
a world of
stressing out?
pain, and by the end, yes, I think I had to run a couple times too. But I remember as the sun set, it started to get better and better, and those fishermen kept casting their lines right where we were trying to take off. And north side of the pier, it's not like a large zone in the summer, south swell. You kind of have to take off right there and surf the wave into the pier with that current. And so we were just biting lines, pulling lines, and then me and Braden actually ended up pulling a full fishing pole down. And the fisherman...
You guys pulled it?
Yeah. I think I pulled it in. Maybe Braden pulled it off the pier, and then I think he threw it to me, and I ran up the beach with it. And then I saw this big Samoan fisherman running to get it, and I just dropped it and paddled back out. I was like, I can't deal.
You don't want to deal with that guy.
Yeah, I can't deal with that guy.
And where was your spot you went to growing up? North Jetty?
North Jetty gang. Yeah.
Okay.
North Jetty.
So I saw your dad there today. And your dad still surfs. Are you still surfing there? Or are you going elsewhere?
I try to surf all over the place. My heart definitely belongs to North Jetty, though. My dad made me go out with him every morning, and all of his friends are like my uncles.
Yeah.
Like, that was my surf family, all of them. And I still travel with them sometimes. They all look after me and, make sure no one messes with me and that I get a bunch of waves. So it's definitely my safe zone. It's always going to be North Jetty. But lately I've been trying the pier a little bit, and I notice seasonally certain spots get better, so I kind of transition, but no, I'll always go back there.
So you're checking as you're leaving your house?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I do the full drive up and down. Yeah, normally Katie and Timo just pile in, and we check the spot for about 30 minutes before going out.
So you never but how often do you pull up and it's like Buccaneers is firing?
I've never surfed back.
Are you serious?
Never. And
Not once?
No, I don't know a lot of people here, and I know it's a completely different crew.
It is,
That's the weirdest thing. I'll see guys from Buck, and I think they're from Carlsbad. I'm like, where are you guys from? And they're like, oh, we surf Buck.
And you actually live right behind it.
Yeah, never.
So I have notes here, and you know what? They're pointless because I have no light. So we're sitting at the most beautiful sunset at the Buccaneer benches. I don't know. Benches, is that what you call it? Buccaneer Cafe benches. Not the park.
Yeah.
At the park. Okay. So now being a girl surfing, did it make a difference to you?
For me, I was in such a protective environment with my dad's friends at North Jetty. They really supported me, and it didn't make any difference. They told me when I screwed up, when I wasn't doing stuff right.
You were just treated as a surfer.
I was treated as an equal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then all your competitive friends. Now, so how did you feel about competitions, surfing competitions? Did you like it?
At first, I liked it. It was pretty fun. I think I mostly liked the relationships I got out of it, though. I mean, when I was surfing the harbor, there weren't a lot of other girls my age surfing.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a bunch.
Not only just, there was no one, there wasn't hardly any kids surfing at that point.
No, it was it was just a really small crew.
Yeah.
So it was really special to go to those contests and see all my friends from up and down the coast and other girls that surfed.
Right.
And that's probably the reason I was such good friends with Olivia, Kayla, and Jocelyn, because there wasn't that many of us, and to get to surf with one of them was so special. Now you paddle out and there's grom mobs, just tons of girls. It's so awesome. I love it.
So do you I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you take credit for maybe driving the Oceanside girls? Because there's a lot of them now.
I can't
to
take
motivate
credit.
them. Are you like their mentor, or am I just throwing that out there?
I don't know if I would say mentor might be a little too far, but I'm really good friends with all of them, and I think I definitely begged all of them to keep surfing because I coached the middle school team for a little bit.
Okay.
And Katie, phenomenal surfer. inspired. I think she probably inspired more girls than me to get out there and surf, and so a lot of girls showed up when she was at the practices.
Okay.
Then we kind of all reeled them in, and then we probably got like 6 or 7, and they're all still surfing like 5 years later, and I have a bunch of friends to surf with now, so it works out for everyone in the end. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, when Braden was surfing, there was no kids. And then we met you guys, met your parents. It's kind of, and now Oceanside, the surf teams, middle school and high school, are blowing up.
They're awesome. Yeah, they're super awesome.
So, give us a good surf story. And I know you've done some traveling, so you have something.
I can give you a good travel story for sure. Okay, so I go to Costa Rica with my dad and Dave Stevens.
Okay.
We surf this wave called Marbella, whoops, dropped my phone, which is a beach break, super fun. It's a little bit rural though. There's not a lot of like buildings and stuff next to it.
Okay.
And I had only surfed it a couple times, so we didn't really know what the locals were like there and stuff. So we pull up in our rental car. It's about an hour away from where we're staying on Negra.
Okay.
My dad takes out the keys and he hides them. And it's one of those keys where it's the electric key, you know, you can't bring it in the water with you.
Yeah.
So he has to hide it. So he hides it, we go out, surf, have a great session, and then we come in and someone had watched him hide the key and had unlocked our car, taken all of our stuff.
No. I've never heard this.
And thrown our key away. Like, the least the guy could do is left the key. He completely just tossed it away.
Gosh.
And we were in the middle of nowhere. There's no service.
Yeah.
There's no restaurants. I don't know anyone there. I don't speak the language.
Right.
And so,
and
the
money.
guy,
Money?
No money. The guy locked the car too. So food, water, it's like 85 degrees.
Oh yeah.
And there's not that many people surfing. It was a really good wave. I think I know why not that many people don't surf it now.
Yeah, getting robbed.
But, yeah, I couldn't like walk up to someone and be like, hey, can I use your phone or something? So my dad and Dave went full caveman status and decided to try to pry the car open. And I just ended up walking down the beach. I was like, I'm gonna find a restaurant or something. So I just kept walking and walking. Probably a mile and a half later, I came up on this like shack bar area. So I stopped and I went in and I tried my best, like Spanish, like ayuda, I think, help, mi celular, don't work. someone rescue me. And I noticed, I think at that point I had a bar of service, but my phone still wasn't working. So I was like, can I try your phone? Because I figure, you know, maybe they have different providers. So I used her phone, and then I realized I don't know the area code to connect it to my mom's phone, because you have to dial a different area code before you call an American number. And so I asked them, and they didn't understand English. So I ended up grabbing her phone, and I logged into my Instagram on her phone.
Oh,
and
smart.
then I messaged every single person I knew on Instagram, help, I'm stranded in Costa Rica, please call my mom, please have her send help. And I think Jocelyn answered, called my mom.
Oh my gosh.
And they came, and my mom came driving to get us. I remember it was Easter morning, and she picked me up on the way, and by the time we got there, my dad had like broken part of our rental car, like broken into it.
So your mom was there, thank God.
Yeah, she was at the other house, like an hour away, and she had another car, so she had to come and grab us.
Oh my God.
But it was such a nightmare. Yeah.
You're smart though. I would have never thought of that.
Social media saved my life one time.
It did.
Yeah, and then we opened the car to see what they took. They took everything except for our sunscreen. I was like, I guess they're like, oh, white girl needs her sunscreen. Like,
With that being said, I just thought of a question. How do you think surfing and social media together, is that a good combo? Have you learned from social media surfing?
Social media is pretty fake.
Is
so
it?
You know what? It's good in the way it pushes everyone. Like, oh, he did this. Like, I'm going to try to do that. But it's bad. One of my least favorite parts about it is that it blows up every single spot.
Okay.
You always know where it's good. You just wake up in the morning. You don't need Surfline. You look at everyone's stories because everyone's posting about it, right?
Pictures of where they're surfing.
Pictures of where they're surfing.
They're getting barreled and, wherever.
But one of the reasons it's good is surfers who are more low-key and not from as affluent areas, like us in Oceanside, get the same exposure.
Yeah, that's true.
So more exposure is better for surfers trying to be professional, like Katie and maybe like Marley and Lucas, who aren't from San Clemente, so their name's not really in the pool, but their surfing does the talking for them and demands to be noticed.
Credentials for sure.
Oh yeah.
And so is Lucas.
Yeah.
So I'm two of the top kids in the world right now.
Yeah.
For sure. What about I just thought of that question. Do you have any good surf stories with you and your dad?
Yeah.
Ones that you won't get in trouble with?
It's okay.
All right, go ahead, tell
them. We'll keep this on the down low. Let's think. Okay. Well,
maybe one at North Jetty.
Well, if
are we allowed to tell that one?
Yeah. If you know my dad, he's pretty territorial and he's super protective. He doesn't want to see me get hurt or hassled or any other kids for that matter, like Braden especially too. And so one time I think me, maybe Braden and Lucas were surfing North Jetty and a paddleboarder was out there not wearing a leash, being super irresponsible. He hit a guy and then he proceeded to lose his board and it rolled through the whole lineup and it ran over me and Lucas. And it stopped right in front of my dad. And I think it was fate. My dad, being my dad, flips the board over, one punch, knocks the fin box out.
Yeah.
And,
And what happened then after that?
And so the guy goes like, let's take this to the beach or something. And my dad is like, of course. Like, I'm just not going to, I probably can't say the language that was used on this podcast because younger
So from a
kids are
different
watching
perspective,
it,
I was out there that day before it happened. I changed, came back, and your dad was in a cop car.
So
I'm glad you told that story. I had to get that one out there.
Yeah, that was.
See, that's why we don't need to interview your dad. We can just get.
Yeah,
it's
you can
better
get
to
it
just
all
tell
from me.
stories about Matt
Second perspective.
from different people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stories out there.
Awesome.
Sorry, Matt. So now that you're older, how old are you?
20.
You mind saying? You're 20?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you're going to school.
Yes.
So what do you want to be?
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
No, it changes.
Just checking off the box for school?
Checking off the box, but also it changes every month.
Okay.
I'll say I find something I like, I go for it, and then I see something else I think is more shiny, and then I try that, But that's the beauty of being young is you're afforded that time to try as many things as you possibly can so you can narrow down exactly what's right for you.
Okay.
And so I haven't really settled on one thing yet. I'm just trying a bunch of different stuff. I'm a business major, so I have like management, marketing, finance in there. So, yeah.
Are you going to, I asked that question, so this question's next is, do you think you're going to pick your job and keep the surf lifestyle, or are you going to go 8 to 5 and be a weekend warrior? Have you planned that yet? Have you thought about that? Like, how important is surfing?
It's very important. I think there is a time in everyone's life where you really have to grind, though.
Okay.
To get where you want to be in that relaxed position where you have a lot of time to surf, you really have to put your head down for a couple years, climb the ladder and get to that spot and prove that you're dedicated to whatever career you're pursuing. I don't think that time has come for me yet, and I'm not really looking forward to it, but I am willing to surf less, of course, to further whatever career path I choose, but the end goal is always going to be to maybe make enough money so I have time to surf and travel,
So you get a job, some business job, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you're going to make $200,000 or $300,000, you got to go to Oklahoma for 10 years. You doing
For
it?
10 years?
Yeah.
No way.
Okay, so
10 years?
So a little while, you'll go like 6 months, but
Yeah.
you still want to stay here and surf.
Oh, my goal is to buy a house in Oceanside.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think a lot of other people, especially kids, think like me because we're lucky enough to have parents who bought houses before property prices went through the roof near the coast.
Yeah.
And now we're growing up and everyone from LA is moving in, and Oceanside's changed a lot, and it's starting to look a little bit like Huntington.
Yes, it
and
does.
We're looking at what it costs to buy a house now, and we're like, wow, we're gonna really have to do pretty well to be able to afford to live here, buy another house when we're older, and it's not a lot like our parents. So it's a reality for a lot of us, and we're all trying to figure out how we're gonna get there. But if I'm able to have a position where I can help other people like get a job so they can live here, that would be my goal, because I want all my friends to be able to stay in Oceanside, and I think everyone wants to.
So Oceanside, a 10 in your book.
Yes.
And then you're surfing. You're young still.
Yeah.
Have you reached your peak, or you think you're still going? You still haven't reached your peak when surfing.
Peak. That's a funny word. I would say.
Have you leveled? Where are you at? Since you're not, are you surfing contests still?
Contest-wise, yeah, I for sure reached my peak. I'm not doing any more contests.
Not free surf. You push yourself still?
Yeah, but I don't really see surfing as such a sport with the black and white criteria. I would say like WSL's tried to create a criteria and stuff. I see it as more of an art.
Okay.
So yeah, say one day I like doing cutbacks, the next day I want to try laybacks.
Yeah, okay.
It's like who WSL would score one better than the other, but I don't really care.
Right.
I'm just gonna surf how I want to surf. Yeah.
Okay. So oh, that's interesting. I like that. And then so you're not gonna compete at all anymore, just for like?
Oh, for fun. Like I'll do surf for the sea, local benefits. Contests are fun. I'm not gonna spend money on the QS.
What are you riding right now? What are your boards?
Chemistry B-side, I think.
Is your board?
Yeah, is my board.
So are you getting different board shape, or you're sticking on one board mostly?
Jason shapes me a bunch of different boards. I really trust him. He just shapes me what he thinks I'll like, and I ride it. And that's the beauty of having a shaper who surfs with you pretty much every day. They see how you surf and they see what you need. So that's what I like.
Now, what about future boards? That's not the right question.
Yeah.
The question is, epic. Like, is there a certain design board that you would love to have, like on the wall, like a mount? Maybe ride it a couple times and put it away, like in a different era, maybe. Does anything intrigue you? You're so young.
This is gonna sound really. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm not really a board geek. Yeah. I don't geek out too much on boards. Okay. Like someone hands me a board, I'm like, oh, this is sick, and then I ride it. I like it. I don't like it. I turn it in for another one. Like, yeah, I don't know. I know Braden and a bunch of other kids can really geek out on that stuff, but not really for me. Jason just sees how I surf and gives me a board he thinks suits my style. And they work every single time. So I don't understand why people get boards shipped from all over the place. Like they don't know how you surf. You're not telling them to
cut off a quarter inch.
Yeah.
You're just like, dude, rad, I got a new board.
Yeah. Like buy from the shapers in your local lineup because they know the way you surf.
So do you have friends that don't surf? Like your close friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's two different worlds? Or do they come and like lay out on the beach and you go surf?
So I actually have a huge family. So I would say my mom's one of 8.
Okay.
And they're all from LA. So I would say that's kind of one world I have. I spend a lot of time in Santa Monica in the summers just cruising with my aunts and uncles. And I have a bunch of cousins and family.
Okay.
So that's like a really cool side. Surfing is, of course, my absolute favorite. Like my surf friends are the best. I'll take them wherever with me, you know. Okay. And then I have school friends and people I've just met in life that I keep in touch with, and I really value those friendships too.
So you surfing when you go to Santa Monica? You bring your board?
Sometimes. I sometimes try Malibu with my friend Soleil, but it's hard getting waves unless she pushes me in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's such a good wave, though, but it's so packed.
So packed.
So many Barneys out there.
Yeah, it's so packed.
It's like they've ruined it. Anyhow, that's a different.
Yeah.
That's it for a different day. And so, what do you get out of surfing? besides the normal exercise?
Adrenaline rushes are amazing, honestly.
Okay.
Like, those aren't to be understated. And then friendships, like, good place to see your friends every day. And obviously something where you can push yourself in a healthy, good way where you don't get hurt, because it's water most of the time. Every once in a while.
Rocks and stuff sometimes.
It's not like snowboarding though, where you go and you try a jump.
You're not gonna hit a tree.
Yeah, like I did yesterday, and I'm so sore. But yeah, and then probably I love how the ocean always changes. That's why I never get bored of it.
Yeah,
There's
that's true.
new waves, something new every single
Tide
day.
changes, wind changes, direction changes.
That's what makes it so addicting, is you don't know what you're missing out on, until you go.
Yeah.
Like, it could even look really bad, and you find some really nice peak all to yourself, and those are like the best
Stoked.
sessions ever. Yeah.
And what does the future hold for Coral? I guess we kind of touched on
Future
that.
is unwritten. Yeah.
And do you have any last shout outs you want to say? Want to say hello to anybody?
Sure. Shout out to, I told McKenna I'd give her a shout out earlier. You should interview her.
Okay.
Yeah, she has a lot. I'll shout out Katie because I'm still waiting for my shout out in her interviews. So.
You want to say her last name? So everyone knows who it is?
Oh,
Or no?
No.
Okay.
We'll be low-key.
All right.
And then John, of course. John Daniels, best person. Reason most of us still surf.
Yeah, and he, I see him and he's like, so I saw Braden or I saw Coral. Like he'll bring you guys up. Like he's stoked when he sees you guys still in the water.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Like, he'll say that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Coral, thank you so much for driving down a couple blocks from your house, watch the rad sunset, and I appreciate it. And so thank you for joining Quivercast.
Thank you for having me.
And until next time, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, and look for Coral in the lineup. She'll probably snake you.
Oceanside sucks. Don't surf it. Worst wave ever. Carlsbad is so much better.
It is.
Lowers is great too.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe. And new music is brought to you by Sal Pedroza. Thanks, Sal. Also brought to you by quiverbuilder.com, an online community where you buy, sell, surf for your next magic board. And I'll see you in the lineup. Hey, you guys, Endless Summer box set. This thing is legit. It's authentic, numbered certificate in it. It has a 5-frame film strip from the original print. You will literally own a piece of history. It has a specially minted bronze medallion. Dude, that thing's sick. Okay, there's so much more here. Go to the show notes. There's a link on there. Go check this piece of history out. This thing's rad. Seriously. Smithsonian American History Museum has it. It took 4 years of research with 3.5 in production, all hand assembled. This thing's rad. There's so much to this awesome box set. Remastered DVD, sharper images than the original film, but dude, this thing's so sick. Link in the show notes.